Ritchie Rich, good morning.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, bud.
Humans, I don't know if you're included or not, but humans shed 200 million skin cells per hour.
Well, that's wild.
And it ends up being about 8.8 pounds of skin every year. We shed 8.8 pounds of skin every year.
Well, it's a cool fact.
And a lot of times the dust that you see floating around on the shelves in your apartment, that's
skin.
you.
Yeah, that is me.
That's your skin.
That's you also. I laughed when you said it. I needed to chuckle, and I appreciate it, actually. I really do. Tough day, guys.
I don't think so.
Tough day. All right, go ahead. Why don't you think so?
Well, free agency is often like B movie stars getting paid like Tom Cruise, and that's what we saw yesterday. It's a spending spree, and bad teams usually have to spend a lot in free agency because they have a lot to fix.
Yeah, that's true.
And you saw that yesterday from the Raiders.
Yep.
You saw Nakobe Dean. Look, Nakobe Dean is awesome. Nakobe Dean has put incredible things on film, and he got paid accordingly. And, yesterday there were two teams who didn't do anything. You know that.
Literally zero transactions.
Yeah. Two teams.
Eagles and who?
The Eagles and the Packers. I mean, two teams that we are going to assume are going to be vying for NFC superiority.
Certainly hope.
Two teams who did nothing, and it's Green Bay and us. And Howie did sign our nose tackle just prior to the free agency.
That's right.
He was a free agent. That's a huge deal. It's making him the highest paid nose tackle in the history of the NFL. And he's a player who proved he deserved that. I feel like Howie treats free agency like something he can milk for extra compensatory picks that get floated his way by the NFL every year.
Yeah, that's part of the strategy.
I think that's how he treats this. And yesterday, Reed Blankenship's departure, while it seemed shocking on the surface, when you look just below the surface, you see, wow, he also redid Michael Carter. Michael Carter, a player whom he traded with the Jets for last year at the trade deadline, who played sparingly at the end of last season, who is a DB cornerback who can also play safety, who they must feel pretty good about because they redid his deal. He was a cornerback coming in, getting paid like a cornerback. They redid his deal, made it more reasonable. And I think Reed Blankenship was in part jettisoned because they know that Michael Carter can take over at one of those safety spots. Howie doesn't just do things willy-nilly. There's always undercurrents. There's always reasons, and there's purpose. And I feel, even though we were one of two teams to do nothing yesterday, we also added 4 compensatory picks. I think that's Howie's number one goal when you get to the beginning of free agency every year. He added 4 compensatory picks to where now the Eagles, we got the news, it's official. Next, our picks are going to be 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6. 9 picks this year. We thought it was just going to be 8. We got an extra pick this year. Next year, we'll continue to get these compensatory picks flowing in because I think that's his number one goal throughout this process. Before it gets started, when everyone else is scrambling because their teams aren't as good as ours, we'll just sit back and wait. We'll get handed lots of these compensatory picks in our lap. We'll have more picks than everyone else. We have 9 picks this year to rebuild, the offensive line. We got to add a lot to the defense. But free agency lasts. Free agency isn't over.
No doubt.
Free agency hasn't yet begun, Joe.
Yeah, well,
free agency begins on Wednesday.
No, trust me, it's begun.
The talking has begun. But I'm saying you can sign with the team all the way up through September. And Howie always has his finger on that pulse. He's going to bring guys in who help us.
All right, so
we're good. It just feels like we're not good yet because it's so darn early.
All right. It's an interesting thought. I mean, I'm curious if you agree with John or not. Obviously, John is not up in arms, really, at all, and I get it. I get what he's saying. I don't agree with a good portion of it.
Jalen Phillips was overpaid. Did you want to overpay Jalen
I would not have given him that.
Yeah.
All right, so 215-592-9494. Before I give you my opinions, let me just, detail the numbers just so everyone's on the same page of what it was. Jalen Phillips, 4 years, $120 million. $80 million guaranteed. Huge deal. Panthers. Nakobe Dean, 3 years, $36 million. $20 million guaranteed. Raiders.
We'll miss you.
We will miss you. I'll get into that in great detail. We will.
I'm glad he went to the Raiders.
I'm glad it wasn't the Cowboys.
Me too.
No, I definitely. Right. I'm so sad he's gone, but I definitely had a little bit of thank God it's not now.
No, they wanted him really bad.
No, and they really
apparently offered him. Did you see that they apparently offered him the same deal?
A lot of money. Yep. All right, Reed Blankenship, 3 years, $24 million. So it doesn't get to that $10 million a year figure, but he gets near it. 3 years, $24 million, $16 million guaranteed. Texans. And then Dotson, who...
I think that says a lot that DeMeco Ryans, a man who knows a lot about defense...
And has a good defense.
Yes.
I know.
Defense is his calling card.
Yeah.
He believes Reed is the guy for his defense. I think that says a lot about the quality of Reed's play and the value in that contract.
Yeah, look, I think the two from yesterday that people can quibble with the most are Nakobe and Blankenship. And I'm curious, because I think most people say walk away from Jalen Phillips at that money, and I'm one of them. Walk away from Jalen Phillips at that money. I'm curious at 215-592-9494 if you are of the mindset, walk away from Nakobe Dean for that money, walk away from Reed Blankenship for that money. By the way, Dotson also gone. You knew he would be, and he is. Gets $15 million and, whatever. All right. As John pointed out, Eagles also get 4 compensatory picks, so that it has nothing to do with yesterday. It has to do with last season. Here are my opinions. It was a bad day for the Eagles. They got worse. I expected them to get worse. They got worse.
I don't know that.
Now, doesn't mean Howie made a mistake, but it can still be a bad day for the Eagles. And it was a bad day for the Eagles.
No.
I think you're absolutely dead wrong. A couple of things here. I'm not mad at Howie. I can't be mad as a fan. I can't be mad at Howie for having accumulated so many good players that in this NFL world of free agency with a salary cap, poach.
All the players
which
who
is
got
what happens
taken,
all the time.
He has a plan for it,
Joe.
Well,
he doesn't mean they're all going to work out. So they're very, very light at safety. They're very, 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 very light at safety.
What about the Michael Carter concept? That is a big deal. They renegotiated
It's a small
him.
deal.
It's not.
He didn't get on the
Why
field
would
last
they
year.
renegotiate? No, he was on the field last year.
Not in a real
way. At the end of the year,
Yeah.
a guy who was brought in from a different team who had no clue what he was doing out there.
We'll find out.
They put him on the field last year. I am convinced he's a big reason why they let Reed Blankenship go.
Maybe. I mean, it's a maybe.
He's talented, a guy who can play cornerback in this league, a guy who can play slot in this league, a guy who can play safety as well. I think he's going to fit into one of those two spots. Michael Carter, mark my words, there's a good chance because I don't know why on earth they go through the pain in the butt of renegotiating him.
Well, yeah, they obviously
if they don't have a plan for him.
They believe in him to an extent. The question
and he
is,
believes, okay, I'll take less money because I'm playing a different position.
Yeah, but I got two reactions to that. One, will he be a starter? We'll see. Two, will he be a good starter? We'll really see on that one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll have that question about every player who's added this year.
Well,
we just have to wait and see.
So hold on. Let me
just for the Michael Carter thing too. It was a contract thing as much as anything. If they released him, they lost a lot of money. They renegotiated. It made sense from a contract perspective more than anything.
I got to get a few things off my chest. Not mad at Howie, but I'm disappointed. I expected to be disappointed. Guys, if I could sum up what I told you in the last month, moving toward free agency, forget individual players, forget AJ and the trade thing, which hasn't happened yet. Maybe it will happen, maybe not. If I could sum up my last month of commentary here on the station about the Eagles, I would say these are my two main points. One, after the start of free agency, many of us as fans will feel like we're on our heels. I think we do. I do. I did not enjoy yesterday. I did not. Didn't surprise me. I didn't enjoy it. They lost a lot of players. I expected it. Still stinks. Two, I've told you I think the Eagles are headed down. A lot of people have told me they're not. I've told you I think they are. I could be wrong. They might make the playoffs. They might not. I've told you I think there's a much better chance they don't make the playoffs than you think. I've also told you my prediction before the free agency and the draft was that they actually will miss the playoffs. I've told you that. Maybe I'll be right, maybe I'll be wrong. That's how I felt 2 days ago. That's how I felt during yesterday. That's how I feel now. They lost a lot of good players. We know defenses and offenses can be rebuilt in short order from time to time. They rebuilt it very effectively entering 2024. They rebuilt it very ineffectively entering 2023. It's a fact. 2023 defense freaking stunk. 24 defense was incredible. Last year they rebuilt it after losing some dudes, and it was amazing.
And
so,
the common thread for those good defenses is Vic Fangio.
Well, also Howie Roseman. But, yeah, a couple common threads.
And Vic Fangio is here.
Yeah, no, listen, I love having Vic. I love having Howie. But I don't love that in
the departure of medium players who got overpaid elsewhere.
Better than medium. N'Kobe's better than medium.
Jalen Phillips. N'Kobe Dean is great when he plays, but he's banged up so much you can't justify the money. Reed Blankenship. Yeah, he's great to us. I feel good for him that someone else valued him. I feel fine replacing
I know you feel
these
fine.
players
I know you do.
that we're replacing.
I know you do. I don't. I do when Jahad Campbell getting in there, but listen, one other thing. To me, this is the offense has to pick it the hell up. If you want a theme from yesterday that hasn't been focused on much, because so much of the focus has been on the defense the last 16 hours or whatever, but the offense has got to pick it the hell up. There's going to be a greater burden on this offense because your defense will probably be worse. I expected that. Offense got to do its job. Has to do its job. 215-592-9494. I ask you how you feel this morning after seeing so much head out the door. I feel crummy. It's not unexpected to me, but I feel crummy. That's how I feel. The other thing I'll ask you is, do you think Howie did wrong on any of the individual moves? I don't think there's anyone that's going to call in and say screwed up Jalen Phillips. Maybe you think he did. $120 million, I don't think he did. N'Kobe and Blankenship. Do you think he should have gone there with those prices? 215-592-9494. And then the other big question, what effect do you think this will have and should have on the other pending situations like Goddard and AJ? I'm curious if anyone out there was thinking, move on from AJ, move on from AJ, move on from AJ. And now you're like, could really use AJ.
It makes me think Goddard might be here.
Well, it certainly increases the chances.
The AJ thing makes me think, holy cow, we got 9 picks right now.
Yeah.
We might have 11 this year.
It certainly increases.
With an additional first and third if we're able to get that. Because they have said, hey, we're going to back off the 1 and 2 thing or whatever the 1 and a guy thing. I think we'll still get a 1 and change for AJ if that's done.
Your thoughts on the whole thing? There's a lot to it. 215-592-9494. We'll get into the Luzardo news, that and more. But the Eagles dominant, obviously, on this topic day because that was a doozy yesterday. Joe DeCamara and John Ritchie, it's 94 WIP.